this is certainly big news here coming through.
It is a big one. It's been on the anvil for a long time, Agam, and you have to understand the context that for the BJP, this has been one of the key pillars of their manifestos since the start. This recommendation coming out now and former President Kovind submitting it to President Murmu doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. Right. And it doesn't mean that the next elections are going to be held simultaneously. Yeah. What it signifies is the BJP government saying that we have ticked all the boxes. We've delivered everything we promised, and simultaneous polls were one of them. Now, coming to the recommendations, and this is important because first, what is the rationale for simultaneous polls? The rationale is that having separate polls across center and various states means you are constantly in election mode as a government and as a party. So you're focusing on winning elections rather than running governments efficiently. Yeah. It is a waste of resources. Elections are expensive and you're doing it time and again. So in 5 years, you have several elections, state and center, so that should be stopped. It causes policy paralysis because you have a model code of conduct before and after, and your focus is not on delivering to those who have voted for you, but then wooing the next set of voters, so to speak. So these were all the reasons for it. The reasons against it has been the biggest one: how will you practically implement it? If you say that this is the start date of simultaneous polls, essentially that means the general election and all state elections and union territory elections will be held together, along with panchayat and municipal elections. That means the whole country is voting at the same time. How will you logistically do it? Secondly, if there are some states which are in the middle of their term, because it's not simultaneously held right now, what do you do with that remainder of the period? And that's essentially some of the recommendations that have been made. So the most important recommendation, they are saying that when you begin this, start with Lok Sabha and state elections. Basically, assembly and central government elections is the first step. Panchayat and municipal body elections can take place 100 days later, so you have a bit of a lag there. The other point that I found very important, and it's just in these action points right now, I'm going to read it out ad verbatim, is in the event of a hung house, no confidence motion, or any such event, fresh elections should be held to constitute the new House of the People or State Legislative Assembly for the unexpired term of the House of People. Now, this becomes very, very important because we see this too often in Indian politics, that you have an election, there is a split vote, and then there is a lot of cobbling together of MLAs and trying to form a party, and then a lot of shenanigans post-election. So this recommendation is, in that case, if there is a no confidence motion, there is a hung house, just have another fresh election for that unexpired term. And if you do that, then you will probably sync the two together. So it's a very vast report. We will go through more of those details and bring you the key points, but the first cut, so to speak, that we can put out for you is that these are the recommendations. It very clearly recommends that they do want to go ahead and hold one election, one nation, one poll.
Right.
To actually make it happen will take time. You will need a constitutional amendment. It's not going to happen right now, but this is the first step towards making it a reality.
Well, a really, really important one, perhaps, even though it's a first one. Tamanna, thank you so much for joining us. And